Kid. The sophomore 5'7" guard from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 4, Tyler Washington. The sophomore 5'8" guard from Belton, Delaware, number 5, Reagan Robinson. The sophomore 6'1" forward from Newark, New Jersey, number 10, Ariel Walker. And the sophomore 5'11" forward from Happy Grace, Maryland, number 11, Azariah Whiting. The Knights are coached by Ryan DeVoe, assisted by Arthur Fitzhugh, Virgil Kennedy, and Elite St. Clair. Ladies and gentlemen, here at CCBC Essex, we admire spirit sportsmanship as an important component of being a student athlete. Whereas he please refrain from use of profanity, let all spectators remain positive and cheering for their favorite team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the castle. Thank you for joining us this evening, and special thank you to Austin Johnson, our PA announcer here, kicking off the festivities in style, as he always does. It is a rematch of a game we saw earlier, just about a week ago. More important than that, it is game number 1 on the road to the NJCAA playoffs, or tournament, I should say. The Region 20 Division II tournament has officially started here on the Throw, as your CCBC Essex Knights, the number 1 seed in the tournament, taking on Prince George's Community College, the Owls, the team they played on sophomore night to wrap up the regular season on February 27th. The Knights beat the Owls 85-56 in that game. Forced the Owls into a turnover here early on their first possession. And now the Knights working in the half court. Boykin gives it up to Whiting. Or excuse me, that was Robinson who gave it up to Whiting, who then eventually gave it up to Boykin, who missed on the jumper. Both teams looking for their first made basket of the game. Owls driving baseline, finding an opening. Couldn't handle it initially, but knocking down the open 3 as the Owls grab the first lead. That is Monet Herman, as Whiting pulls down the miss and grabs the first basket of the game for the Knights. As that was pinballing between the two teams, Azariah Whiting finally gets 2 hands on it, and the sophomore gets the first bucket of the game for the Knights. Owls just get it over and through the press. Have to work in the half court with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Azariah Whiting, the on-ball defender right now, trying to fight around the pick. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Putting it on the floor, the Owls into the painted area, finding the shooter outside, but they cannot get it up in time. The beginnings of a nice move there on the kick out, but unaware of how much time was left on the shot clock. Knights get the turnover, shot clock violation. Trying to grab their first lead with a basket in the half court. Washington over to Boykin. Boykin puts it on the floor. Oh, one way and then the other, and it's off of her leg, says the referee. Good defense down low from the Owls, swiping the ball away. Boykin, a shifty player, on display there. First going left and then cutting back to the right. Whole lot of space there, but good rotation defensively at the last second from the Owls. And speaking of last second defense, Azariah Whiting gets a fingernail on that one at the last second. Possession still here with the Owls. Has to stay right here, says the referee. Inbound a little easier, but good one-on-one defense. Picking up full court, Whiting. Nice crossover move there from the Owls. Could not hit. And that was Christian Smith. Walker for 3, quick trigger, no good. Whiting pulls down another offensive rebound. Washington this time to the cup. Same result, as the Owls still holding on to that lead. Smallest of leads though, just one, 3-2. Almost 3 minutes into the first quarter. And that is a turnover. Whiting. Now we're going back and forth as the Owls get it right back. Boykin pulls down the miss. Washington for three. That's good. And Azarea Whiting struggling, checking out of the game. Maybe she got poked in the eye on that exchange between the two players. Referee calling for the two teams to come on quickly here. And the Knights taking advantage of the mismatch there for a moment. They got possession, but only for a second. Or was that a foul? Indeed, it was a foul, so possession still stays here with the Knights. Tylia Washington hit the three in the corner a moment ago on the last possession, grabbed the lead here for the Knights, 5-3. Just over 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Robinson, pull up on the floater, no good. Nelson checks in for Azarea Whiting, who's over now back with the bench after seeing the training staff for a bit. Should be checking in, I'm sure, back into the game soon. And that is beautiful ball movement from the Owls, but another missed layup. Nelson running the floor, finding Washington again. Cannot hit this one. Owls trying to tie here. Maybe take the lead with a three. Working around the pick. Now Robinson, the on-ball defender. Good roll towards the cup. Could not get the friendly roll on the rim, though. The Owls, three straight good looks. Cannot hit, though. Nelson taking it the distance. Coming up just a tad bit short. Double team from the Knights. It does force a turnover. They do force a turnover, excuse me. Boykin finds Nelson. Washington thought about the quick trigger. Found Robinson instead. No thought there other than to gun it. Knights offense starting a little cold here. Coach DeVoe and the rest of the coaching staff, they preach volume, though. They want their shooters to have that quick trigger as we see Washington quickly into the half court and even quicker to the cup for two. Owls got the first 3 points of the game, and now the Knights have scored the last 7. And that's off the side of the rim. Owls get a second look, but cannot hit that one either. Knights quickly into the half court, have numbers. Boykin calls her own, cannot hit. 7-3, just over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Elisa Ortiz set to check in at the next whistle. Pull-up jumper for the Owls, just a little short. Walker pulls down the tough rebound. Michaela Sally gonna check in at the next whistle again. Robinson, step back three, no good. Quickly into the half court, quickly going to the line as that's a whistle that goes against the Knights. Kayla Gaynor going to the line when we come back. Just under 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter of this opening playoff matchup. The Owls and the Knights doing battle here for the second time in a matter of 2 weeks. Kayla Gaynor at the line here now for the Owls. Chance to get their first points since getting the opening 3 points of the game. As Gaynor hits the first, looking to go for 2 for 2 at the line now. And indeed, the Owls have a successful trip to the line, easy for me to say. And nice move there from Simpson on the hesitation, creating just enough space to cut right to the cup. Owls quickly cutting through the press. Nelson, good closeout defense, maybe got a piece of that as the Owls miss everything. Nelson certainly got a piece of that one. She pulls down the miss at the end of it all. Ortiz, quick trigger right in front of the Owls bench, cannot hit. And Simpson and Sally both had a chance at the offensive rebound. Neither one could pull it down. Just over 4 minutes left in the opening quarter, 9-5. Both teams looking to find their footing here early. Nice move to the cup. Once again, cannot hit the layup. And this time they can't get the offensive rebound either, as the Owls, a little bit of butterfingers there. That is the third or fourth good look that the Owls have had at the rim. And they've just blown a tire at the last moment on the cup, or at the cup, excuse me. Sally, dribble handoff to Ortiz, puts it on the floor, bumped off the spot just a little bit. Nice move on the up and under. A miss at the end of it all, though. Good ball movement. Owls finding the open shooter, cannot hit. Ortiz running the floor, keeping the head up, looking to find someone. Gets it right back. Now moves it over to Sally from the elbow. No good. PG with the rebound. 9-5, just over 3 minutes left. Offense is still trying to find their footing here. Oh, nice move, spinning around one, finding the rolling big, and that time they're able to hit the layup. 2-point game. Knights quickly trying to get those 2 points right back. Simpson picked up the dribble, now moved it over to Washington. Boykin ready to check in at the next whistle as she moves over to the scorer's table. Sally puts it on the floor, feels she has a mismatch, draws the defense in and finds Washington, who cannot hit, but a nice hustle play from Simpson to create an extra possession. Nelson now for three. It's good. Beautiful team play there from the Knights. Hustle creating the extra possession and the 3 points. PG trying to get those three right back. A long three, no good off the front of the iron. PG gets their own miss. In and out, Nelson right there in her socks. Never moved. And Washington, it goes off the noggin. She was expecting the ball to be placed on the shoulder. Instead, it bounced off her head. Tough move there for the Knights as PG gets an extra possession. Boykin is out there with Simpson, Ortiz, Sally, and Nelson. PG passing through the press, finding an open shot at the foul line, no good. Nelson pulls down the miss. Both teams running the floor well, and that is swiped away as Nelson tried to find a driving lane. And a timeout taken on the floor by PG. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Tell you more about what kind of season it's been here for the Knights. Coming in to this Division II Region 20 tournament with the #1 seed, number 9 ranked team in the nation right now in the NJCAA. Finished the regular season with a record of 23-3, and they were 14-0 in conference play. They've won their last 2 games after a tough loss on the road to Monroe. Snapped a long winning streak. 93-61 was the final score in that one. The Knights finished the season 10-1 at home and 13-2 on the road. And that is a nice move as PG almost dribbled through the double team, but Boykin able to swipe it away just at the last second. And the referee coming from the other side to say that's 10 seconds. Indeed it was. Or are they going to put 2 more seconds on the clock? No, they put 2 more seconds on. So PG has to get it over here on this pass. And Nelson trying to pick it off. Who touched it last? PG did, says the referee. So it's a turnover at the end of it all. Knights in the half court. Simpson gives it up to Nelson, who finds Boykin. Boykin quickly getting into the painted area, could not hit. Nelson creating a little space for her as she rolled to the cup. Good offense there for the Knights, just couldn't hit. Now we're seeing some good defense on the other side, from the Knights. They force the miss. Nelson has it swiped away, but Boykin comes back, and she got a piece of the arm, says the referee as well. Boykin, a shifty player. You saw it there as the Knights were going on the attack offensively, and then quickly they had to get back on the other side and make a play defensively, and make a play Boykin did. Almost getting the block, and instead forcing PG to earn it at the line. As we are just under a minute left to play here in the first quarter, and PG hanging around. 12-7 right now is the score. And make it 12-8 as PG, much better result here tonight at the line. Back on February 27th. That was a big reason why the Knights were able to pull away in the second half of that game. PG missing too many shots at the foul line. And then, of course, not able to create enough shots themselves in the half court. Knights not having that same issue here as they're moving the ball beautifully. Boykin finds Nelson open for 3. Cannot hit. Sally pulls down the tough rebound. And they'll get another look. Simpson into the painted area. This time, Boykin cuts on the baseline. Could not get the soft roll. Sally forces the turnover. Boykin, floater, banks open here for 2 late on this Tuesday evening. 14-8. Shot clock now turned off. Owls looking for the buzzer beater. And that will be a turnover. Oh, no, it will not, as it stays right here. The other referee came in and said the Knights got the last touch on that. So the Owls 8 seconds to find a shot. Got to get that ball in, finally do. Here comes the double team, passing out of it. Drives on the baseline, cannot hit. Second look. Can they get it up in time? They do not. Nelson and Sally right there making it difficult. And the defense just too much. Both teams struggling offensively in the first quarter, but the Knights defense staying strong and getting them in the lead here through the first 10 minutes. 14-8 is our score at the end of the first quarter. What will be our score at the end of the first half? Stick around with us and find out. Leading scorer for the Knights through the first quarter is Tyler Washington, 5 points. 2 for 5 shooting from the field, and Washington contributing 2 rebounds and a steal as well. Already 10 turnovers in the game for PG, as I'm sure that was a big talking point for the coaching staff, as the game is still close here, as we see a beautiful passing display. Sally cutting to the cup, and a beautiful thread pass through the defense. We see Washington check back in as Sally couldn't convert after that beautiful pass, but did earn a trip to the line. Rebounding numbers pretty even so far. PG out rebounding the Knights just by 1, 16-15. And the offensive rebounding numbers dead even 4 apiece. May come as a surprise given what the scoreboard says right now, as the Knights now grab a 16-8 lead. PG had a couple of extra possessions there, a couple of extra looks, just unable to hit. Too many empty possessions in that first quarter. If the Knights offense is able to get hot here in the second, they could start to run away with this one early. As we see another strong defensive stand. Washington beating everyone down the floor. Sally going to work down low. That's an easy 2 points. And an early 10-point lead now for the Knights, 18-8. Are we watching the Knights heat up here offensively, maybe? Are we watching the Owls find their footing offensively here, maybe, as they get a nice bank shot three-pointer? Robinson trying to get those 3 points right back. Sally is eating good on the glass here today, as she almost got another offensive rebound. Almost good for nothing, though, here as the Owls going the other way. And that's a moving pick. You saw the feet shuffle just a little bit. Alea Membrino picking up the foul, giving an extra possession to the Knights. Washington getting the offense started. Sally moves it over to Whiting. Sally now comes and sets the pick. Whiting on the floor. Finds Sally from downtown. That's good! Everyone fired up on the bench there, as that was a beautiful play drawn up by Coach DeVoe. Knights executed it perfectly. Owls trying to get those points back as they drive baseline. Good roll, but Ariel Walker says nay. Robinson, Walker, the block on one end and 2 points on the other. And this triple big lineup is dangerous right now. Whiting, Sally, and Walker all getting minutes, with Robinson and Washington running the floor. Sally rolls, and she says nay this time. My goodness. Michaela Sally just palmed that ball and said, get out of here. 23-11. And Walker a half a second late that time, as the paint was wide open for the Owls. And that comes at the perfect time, as the Knights are rolling here on both sides of the court. The Owls get a chance to slow things down and cut into that lead just a bit. Coach DeVoe going to the 2 big lineup now once again. Whiting, Walker, Robinson, Washington, and Boykin. It's the starting 5 that we opened the game with back out there on the court. PG trying to get it back to a 10-point game as they hit the first and the second. The foul shot's crucial here for the Owls through the first half. Whiting puts it on the floor. bumps the defender just a bit. Oh my, nice pump fake. Had the defender on skates. Azarea Whiting all smiles afterwards too, as she earned that trip to the line. Azarea Whiting misses the first, and somewhere out there, Rasheed Wallace is screaming, "Ball don't lie." As PG not thrilled with the call there, and maybe also not thrilled with the effort defensively. Whiting gets the soft roll on the second, goes 1 for 2 at the line, and boys and girls at home, that's why you put that extra spin on the ball. You get that friendly roll. Pull up jumper, no good. Whiting making sure PG doesn't get it. And Coach DeVoe dapping up his sophomore as he recognized that was a nice box out move. PG had no chance at that one. One and done, going the other way. Knights getting the stop. Whiting calls her own number from the shoulder, no good. Walker a second look, same result. PG gets the miss this time. Running on the other end, they don't have numbers, but they do have trailers. Right into the teeth of the defense. Second look, cannot hit. How about a third? PG slows it down now, just over 10 on the shot clock. Around the pick, and she walked with it. One extra step. It's a little bit too excited. Tough break there for PG. Just what the doctor ordered if you're the Knights. Looking to continue this run. They're on here to start the second quarter. 24-13. Whiting sets the pick, rolls to the basket. Now sets up. Flashes behind the line, gets the ball, calls her own number again. Said she kicks it out to Robinson, who gives it right back to Whiting, and this time she does call her own number on a nice scoop and score. Boykin, shifty, 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 everywhere, all at once. Azarea Whiting getting the defense to move on the pump fake. 26-13 PG, watching this game slowly slip away as Boykin a little too handsy, says the referee. .555 left in this second quarter. PG in desperate need of a basket and a couple of stops. Watching the Knights offense come alive here in this second quarter in a big way. Too many easy baskets on one side. Can they start to get some easy baskets on their end? Reagan Robinson wants to make sure that's not the case. Now Whiting with the on-ball defense. PG sets up the pick, rolls to the basket. Walker just a half a second too late. And PG does find that easy basket. They take a step on the comeback trail. Can they get the stop on the other end? Boykin pulls down the miss from Whiting. Robinson gives it out to Boykin for three. No good. And who's going to get that miss? PG had it for a second, and that second gets a little longer as they get the miss and the loose ball. Picking it up in the half court, having a pass out. 15 on the shot clock. Around the pick, pulling up. Jumper, no good. Azarea Whiting pulls down the miss for the Knights. Walker running the floor beautifully as she beats everyone down to the other side. Under 5 to play in the first half now, 28-15. PG. Around the pick. Roll into the basket. The pass was a bullet, though. It could not be caught. Washington. Oh my, wanted the and one, did not get the call, but she got the 2 points though. Tylia Washington taking the bump. It did not matter one bit. She finishes for 2, 30-15. Owls trying to get those points back. Got great position down low, just couldn't hit. Boykin beating everyone down the floor this time. She does get the and one. Four minutes left in the first half, and the Knights firing on all cylinders now. And a media timeout on the floor. So we will take a timeout with the two teams. We'll be back after this short break. The Knights hosting this game one in the Region 20 Division II tournament because they are the higher seed here in this quarterfinal matchup with the PG Owls. If they finish the job here and punch their ticket into the semifinals, they'll move on to Chesapeake, who will host the semifinals and the finals. And then the NJCAA tournament this year is held in North Carolina, as PG making a run towards the basket. The Owls getting a second look, but same result as Walker pulls down the miss. Robinson, I don't think that was her intended result on the target or the pass, but it still got to the target. Boykin could not hit though. PG taking it right to the cup. I think they thought there was contact and a whistle was going to follow, but no whistle. Instead, it's just a miss. Washington for 3, and a miss on the other end. Owls quickly into the other end. Cannot hit. Big group substitution ready to check in for Coach DeVoe's squad at the next whistle. Walker, post up position. Turning and hitting that one with style. PG into the half court. Whiting now stepping up as the on-ball defender. Pull-up jumper, no good. Walker pulls down a tough miss, but PG gets their hand on it as well, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow pointed in the direction of the Owls, so 10 seconds left on their possession as the two teams make a couple of substitutions. Simpson, Rodriguez, Ortiz, and Sally, as well as Nelson, check into the game, so it's a brand new 5 out there on the court for Coach DeVoe. 5 on the shot clock. As Simpson gets the steal, but the PG Owls get the steal right back. Owls got a fresh shot clock to work with. Can they get a look? Nelson ties him up, but it stays on this side. Nelson and Sally both there with the defense down low. Knights, 10 seconds left on this possession for the Owls. 10 more seconds for some strong defense. They did give up a open look there to the Owls, but once again, the Owls couldn't hit. And Nelson is there to pull down the tough rebound. Another jump ball. This time the possession arrow pointed in the direction of the Knights. So it's a look at the Knights offense after a long trip on the defensive side. Rodriguez cannot hit. The Owls blowing a tire there on the rebound, but just tapping it over to a teammate at the last second, creating this possession. 20 on the shot clock, working in the half court, around the pick. Pick and pop. Big finds the open three, cannot hit. Rodriguez pulls down the loose ball. Sally finds Simpson, who's looking to get the offense started here. Ortiz puts it on the floor. Sally walks with it, or it's a double dribble, excuse me. The coach saying that was a swing moment. Let's look to move the ball. Everybody looking to get in on the scoring here offensively, as the Knights here in the second quarter have really come alive. 35-15 with just over a minute left in this first half. What a tale of two cities this first half has been. PG right there with Essex through most of the first quarter. In the second quarter, it's been all Knights from the opening whistle. 15 on the shot clock. Good pick set up. Again, they find the shooter on the outside. This time they drive, find another shooter on the other side, and that's good. That comes with a big sigh of relief for the Owls bench. Long time without a basket. Simpson drives. What a pass to Nelson as she splits the defense. Getting those 2 points right back. Or at least 2 of the 3. Oh, nice move there from PG as they split the defense on the other end. Little Hezzy gets the stop and start. Nelson. Ortiz for 3. And that's walking on the top. So it's out of play. Good cross-court pass there from Nelson as Ortiz was open from downtown. And the shot clock now turned off as PG can hold for the final shot. 37-20. Under 10 seconds left in the first. And was that a walk or a foul? It is a foul, but it's on the floor before the shot, so it'll be an inbounds play. 5.8 left in the second quarter. Where's the inbounds going to come from? And the inbounds will be from under the basket, so the Knights got to protect the cup here. Can't get caught sleeping and give up an easy 2 in the final seconds. Open 3, no good. Nelson doesn't touch it, and the Knights will have 1.6 to find an open shot. Somebody want to put up a heave. Rodriguez looks like she does, and not in time. Could not get the shot up. 37-20 is going to be our score as we go into the halftime break. The Knights are rolling here in game number 1 of the playoffs. They are hoping this is the first game of a long playoff run. They're hoping it starts here in this Region 20 Division II tournament and ends all the way on Championship Sunday at the NJCAA tournament. That's then. This is now. We've still got a half to go here in this first round matchup of the Region 20 tournament. And we are back ready to start things in the second half. The Knights with a commanding lead as we start the third quarter. 37-20 is our score through one half of play. A big part of why the Knights were in front through the first quarter was turnovers. PG turned the ball over 10 times in the first quarter, only 13 turnovers at the end of the first half, so they were able to limit their turnovers in the second quarter. But the problem was for the PG Owls, the Knights offense came alive in a huge way in the second quarter. They shot 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 9 for 18 from the field. And most of those misses were from downtown, as they were 1 for 6 from downtown in the second quarter. Owls quickly getting a hot start in the third, though, as they get an easy 2 points. More importantly, they get an early 2 points, as they're going to need a stellar second half performance if they want to pull off the upset here at the Castle. Reagan Robinson, one of the only 2 Knights players without a made basket yet here today. She misses the 3 there. Owls trying to go on a run, but Boykin everywhere all at once again, as she jumps in front of the pass and gets the easy scoop and score on the other end. So the Knights getting those 2 points right back, 39-22. Owls rolling to the basket. Whiting cutting off the space just in the nick of time. Loose ball, Whiting has it. Walker got a piece of it as well. Boykin up on the pump fake, but she walked with it. Good job by the PG Owls of running the floor defensively, not allowing the Knights to get an easy basket on the transition. The Owls get the stop on one end. Can they get the basket on the other? Passing their way through the press. Walker cutting off the space, but a nice move there on the scoop and score from Rebecca Wright. Boykin gives it up to Washington. The Knights are moving it around. Robinson, stop and start. Picks up the dribble, has to give it up to Walker. Spin move as Walker goes to the cup and loses it. The Owls get the stop. Can they get the basket on the other end? Looking to take another step on the comeback trail here. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Oh my! Azarea Whiting sends out our first invite to the block party of the second half. Ariel Walker and Michaela Sally had emphatic blocks in the first half. Azarea Whiting saw that and said, that looks fun. Let me get in on that. Please and thank you. 3 blocks in the game now for this Knights defense from 3 separate players. Everybody getting in on the action, falling asleep there as the Owls get an open look from 3 and a second look on the offensive rebound. How about a third? Floater is no good as Azarea Whiting pulls down the miss at the end of it all. Boykin, oh my goodness. She had her hand on the speed button there, playing with tremendous pace. She just beat everyone down the floor as Azarea Whiting once again getting in on the action. Whiting couldn't get the steal, but does force the Owls to eat a little bit of clock there. A little bit more clock as Washington gets the turnover on the double team and the 2 points on the other end. The wheels are starting to fall off the bus here for the Owls. The press just too strong. The defense everywhere. Owls are seeing ghosts and throwing interceptions. Boykin. Robinson, right back to Boykin, a beautiful 2-man game. Owls, Whiting, it's going the other way on the charge. Put $1 in the jar. The hustle is on display everywhere for this Knights team. All the little plays add up, and they are certainly adding up here for the Knights. Washington around the pick, and now another. Finds Robinson. Jab step. Now she puts it on the floor. Little alley-oop, so to speak, to Whiting, who goes up and under for two. And this Knights team offensively came alive in the second quarter. Now defensively, they are flexing as we see a block on the other end from the Owls. Slowing down the run here just for a second. The Owls, number 11, Kayla Gaynor, with the block. Washington puts it on the floor, hanging amongst the trees and hitting one for two. The bank still open on this Tuesday night. Boykin getting a piece of it. Now all of it as she takes it away. Washington up and under, 2 points. Oh my, Boykin gets it right back. The Knights are on fire here today in the third quarter. My goodness. 53-24, timeout on the floor. We'll take 1-2 with the two teams. My goodness. It was the offense running the show in the second quarter, and now the defense is dominating things in the third. It is all smiles from everyone in a Knights jersey. Coaching staff smiling as well. As the start to the playoffs could not have gotten off to a better start. It could not be going any better. This quarterfinal matchup between the Owls and the Knights being dominated here by Coach DeVoe's squad as they look to take their first step on their playoff journey. Nice move on the Euro step, getting to the basket, but could not hit. Whiting, couple of spin moves, finally finding the space, finding Boykin from downtown, and this place was gonna erupt if she hit it. On that one as well, Washington got the offensive rebound, and she will go to the line on the foul as these fans here are waiting for the moment to come up and out of their seats. The Knights have given them quite a few moments, not only here today, but all season long. 10-1 at home here at the Castle, 23-3 overall during the regular season, and most importantly, 14-0 in conference play. A big reason why they've got that shiny number 1 next to their name as we start this Region 20 Division II tournament. They are the number 1 seed in this tournament, the number 9 ranked team in the NJCAA most recent rankings. As we see Sally Nelson, my goodness, what a play from Boykin. Not only to intercept it, but then lay it up to a teammate as she was headed out of bounds. Oh my goodness, what an effort play. Sure, a coach somewhere at a 4-year school is going to. Oh my! Got a piece of the hand, says the referee. Oh, everyone was ready to come up and out of their seats on that one as Robinson almost had a beauty of a block. Almost good for nothing, and Coach DeVoe is smiling on that one. Robinson may not have gotten credit for the block, but it reminds me of the old John Thompson quote, kids don't remember goaltending calls, they remember getting their shot blocked. It could be a moment like that, maybe a little hesitant to go into the painted area next time, who knows? Regardless, what could have been, what might still be 5 minutes left in this third quarter. What might still be in this season as the larger goal is still in front of this Knights team. The regular season is finished. Game 1 of the playoffs is underway. They are hoping it's a long road in the playoffs, and they're hoping it ends in Hickory, North Carolina on Championship Sunday as we see a nice move to the cup. Cannot hit, chasing the miss though. Owls a second look, and they miss everything on that one. And Sally did get a piece of that, says the referee. And it will be a media timeout on the floor, so we're going to take one, too, with the two teams. 4 minutes and 31 seconds left in this third quarter. 55-26 is our score as the Knights in full control in this second half. With things looking the way they are right now in this third quarter, safe to say that the Knights have indeed punched their ticket to the semifinals, which will be played at Chesapeake on Friday, March 6th. And they will try and punch their ticket to the finals, which will take place at Chesapeake on Saturday, March 7th. I told you earlier, the NJCAA tournament being held in Hickory, North Carolina this year. That's scheduled to start on Monday, March 16th. So check out the CCBC Essex Athletics website to see if the Knights are lucky enough to be one of those teams invited, and if they are, what their seeding is. As we have a little confusion on the court as the referee's talking it over. And I think we're going to go back to another timeout, as now we're looking over at the official game clock and also the official broadcast to see maybe what time it was when we stopped or what. I'm not sure. We're going to find out when we come back. Same score, same time left when we went to a break a moment ago. 55-26, 4 minutes and 31 seconds left in the third quarter. And I'm not sure what the official verdict was there because we have no changes on the clock at all. But what we know for sure is the action's back out on the court, and that's what we want. That's what we're most excited about. Washington taking away that chance for the offensive rebound. My goodness, she turns the Jets on and quickly gets into the painted area on the other end. Slicing and dicing through the defense and earning a trip to the line. Talia Washington, one of those many sophomores who earned their flowers on sophomore night. That was the last game we had here at the Castle to finish off the regular season against these two teams. As these are two teams very familiar with one another, not only matching up every year, but now matching up in their last two games. And with the Owls keeping this game competitive through most of that game, I'm sure they felt like they had good chance to pull off the upset here in this quarterfinal matchup. And the Knights, well, they had different ideas as Boykin jumps the passing lane once again, but can't hit on the layup. Who touched that one last? Referee looks like he's saying it was last touched by a Knights player. 4 minutes left in the third quarter, 57-26. This Knights team, they've been a buzzsaw so many times this season. For so many teams, they are first in the nation in points per game, 93.4 coming into this one. Third in field goals made per game, 34.3, and first in field goal attempts per game, 86.5. Coach DeVoe and the rest of the coaching staff, they preach volume. They want to see their shooters pull the trigger quickly and often. Don't think, just react. As we see Washington with a nice kiss off the glass there for two. The Rajon Rondo floater there, up over everybody's hands. Lisa Ortiz ready to check in at the next whistle as we see a jump ball. The possession arrow, I believe, pointed in the direction of PG. Nadia Simpson checking in with Elisa Ortiz. So it is Boykin, the lone starter, still out there on the court. As it's Simpson, Sally, Nelson, and Ortiz. Ortiz quickly tucked away over there in the corner. She's the 3 for hire off the bench for this team. Due for a big game anytime here now, as it's been a long stretch of some tough shooting for Elisa Ortiz. Maybe not feeling great going into the tournament, but the law of averages says, like I said just a second ago, that she is due for a big game, and with the tournament right around the corner, maybe that comes at the biggest time. Knights fans, if you've been with us all season long, you remember that game earlier this season when Ortiz exploded for what I believe was 11 three-pointers. Plays with a lot of confidence, as well as her teammates, as we see a nice display of sportsmanship. Nelson trying to pick up PG player afterwards. Confidence is one thing this Knights team does not lack. Everybody out there plays with their chests held up high. No one's afraid of the moment. No one's afraid of anybody else out there on the court. And I think that is really going to help this team establish themselves as the team to beat, as we are in win or go home time now from here on out. You have an entire squad of players who are not afraid of their opponents or the moment. You got to feel good about your chances in the knockout rounds. Nelson, floater, no good. Owls pulling down the miss. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter. Owls working in the half court around the pick. And Simpson causes the loose ball. Owls get it back and hit the open jumper, even with Nelson putting a hand right in the face. That was good closeout defense. Better offense from the Owls. Simpson stopping on a dime, finding Sally, who finds Nelson open in front of the bench for three. No good. And Sally pleading with the referee that the Owls got the last touch there, and he saw it a different way. And now it is someone checking into the game here for Boykin, as the bench unit is taken over here in the second half. Kendra Lee Ramirez checking into the game for the first time. Owls driving baseline, finding it hard to get something going here offensively, and Nelson with a big block. Mackenzie Nelson says nay. 4 blocks now in the game for the Knights from 4 separate players. Nelson pulls down the miss. Ramirez over to Simpson, who puts it on the floor, drives baseline, and goes off the side of the rim. Or off the side of the backboard, I should say. Owls into the half court, finding the shooter from behind. Three-pointer, no good. Sally gets the miss. Sally running the floor, taking it herself. Now finds Nelson. And Simpson will get something started here in the half court with 15 on the shot clock. Nadia Simpson calls for the pick. Sally flashes. Some movement away from the ball as now Ortiz has it. Gives it up to Ramirez, has to get a shot off. Sally with 1 on the shot clock, does not get a shot up. That's a shot clock violation. Knights unaware of how much time was left on the possession, and a good strong defensive stand there from PG. The Owls getting the stop on one end. 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Simpson scooping, oh, no score, as she can't get the soft roll. Got the steal, but could not get the basket. And now the shot clock and game clock separated by 9 seconds, so the Knights, no chance at the 2-for-1. What do they do here? Simpson around the pick. Feels she has the mismatch, and that was a bad call, says the PG defender. She takes it away. Calls her own number, and Ortiz with the jump ball. Oh, my. Ortiz won't get credit for the block, but just taking away that layup attempt as she doesn't fall for the Euro. PG gets the extra possession as the possession, or the, jump ball possession arrow was pointed in their direction. And the Knights do force a turnover at the end of it all. Backcourt violation. The Knights will look for the buzzer beater. 59-28. Sally over to Nelson. 5 seconds left. Nelson puts it on the floor, drives baseline. It's good. 59-28 at the end of 3 quarters. The Knights have punched their ticket here. I think it's safe to say to the semifinals that will be held at Chesapeake on Friday, March 6th. Now the question is, what will be the final score at the end of the 4th quarter? It's 61-28 now as they put 2 more points on the board. As you can see, the action already underway here in the 4th quarter. Knights with an early 2 points leading scorer for the Knights through 3 quarters of play, Tylia Washington, 17 points in. She is shooting the ball really well from the field, 7 of 12 shooting. And she's also contributed with 4 steals and 3 rebounds. As this Knights team has forced 26 turnovers through 3 quarters of play. Mayana Boykin, 8 steals herself as she is working on a potential double-double. She's 2 steals away. She already has 13 points. Second leading scorer as Ortiz from 3. No good. In and out. Owls with the rebound. Sally took an elbow to the face. A little worse for wear after it. Nice roll to the cup there. As the baseline was open with Sally slow to get back up. Ortiz puts it on the floor. She drives baseline on the other end. Kicks it out to Nelson for 3. That's good. Kenzie Nelson now 10 points off the bench. She's working on a double-double as well. She had 7 and 8 through 3 quarters. Now make it 10 and 8. Ortiz, it's sent away. The Owls with the block. 6 blocks in the game for this Knights team. Azarea Whiting with 2, Ariel Walker with 1, Tylia Washington with 1, and then off the bench, Nelson and Sally with 1 apiece. Whiting calls her own number from the shoulder and hits a pretty one. Easy for me to say. Owls passing through the press. Now passing in the half court, trying to get something going. 10 on the shot clock. Into the painted area, spinning and hitting one off the glass, as that was a pretty move on the other end. Azarea Whiting. And one opportunity. Whiting quickly down onto the other side of the floor, showing the ball and then going the other way. Taking the contact and earning the trip to the line. Trying to get 3 points the old-fashioned way. And there it is, Azarea Whiting, the sophomore. 10 points in the game now. Walker jumps the passing lane. Looking to take it the distance, and she does. Scoop and score on the other end after getting the steal. PG stopping on a dime there in a tough spot. Catching the Knights napping just a little bit. Azarea Whiting saying that should have been a travel call. Referee didn't see it that way, actually. And that is a timeout on the floor. It's a media timeout first that will roll into a 30-second timeout. So as the two teams talk things over, I'll run down the schedule for women's basketball from here on out. Once again, as it is for sure at this point, the Knights have punched their ticket to the semifinals of the Region 20 Division II tournament. That is being held at Chesapeake this year. Their game in the semifinals will take place on Friday, March 6th. Check out the CCBC Essex Athletics website to see who their opponent will be, and try and catch that game live at Chesapeake if you can, and see if the Knights can punch their ticket to championship Saturday in this Region 20 tournament, which will be held at Chesapeake as well on Saturday, March 7th. And then between then and Monday, March 16th, the Knights will find out if they are one of the lucky teams invited to the NJCAA tournament that is being held in Hickory, North Carolina this year. Once again, that is scheduled to start on Monday, March 16th. Check out the CCBC Essex Athletics website, and also follow this women's basketball team on their social media as they continue their run in the playoffs. And I know I speak for everyone here at CCBC Essex when I say I hope it is a long and successful run through the playoffs. Don't have to look far here at the gym to see the banners and see how many of them say women's basketball. Program came back in 2019 and it has been nothing but success. First under Coach Cini, now under Coach DeVoe, paving his own way now here at the Castle. Coach DeVoe and his assistant Arthur Fitzhugh, they were on the sideline when Coach Cini coached this team to a national championship a few seasons ago. Now they are trying to do the same as they walk their own path now on the sideline as the generals of the women's basketball team here at CCBC Essex. If they're the generals, Azarea Whiting, she might as well be a lieutenant. Getting the offense into the half court, could not hit. PG quickly going the other way with now 6 minutes left in this contest, 73-34. And the Owls getting a nice look as Washington and Robinson checking in at the next whistle. Getting their last chance to play in front of the fans here at the Castle. The Owls into the half court. Send the on. Boykin goes over to the scorer's desk as well. She'll check in at the next whistle. Ortiz now the on-ball defender. Bumped off the spot just a little bit, but made the shot difficult. Whiting finds Ortiz. Quick trigger from three in front of the bench. Cannot hit. Owls pulling down the miss. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter now. Owls for three on the other end. Same result as Simpson this time pulls down the miss. Simpson quickly into the offensive zone. Oh, beautiful passing display. Whiting rolling to the cup, cannot hit. Ramirez and Simpson laying that one up beautifully. And we've got misses on both ends as the offenses have gone cold here. Now from the Knights' perspective, they can afford a few misses. In full control here. Washington, Robinson, and Boykin back out there on the floor for Coach DeVoe. So the starting five running here in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. This quarterfinal matchup dominated by the Knights. We were close in the first quarter, and then the Knights shot 50% from the field in the second quarter and just started to run away with it and never looked back. The Owls nowhere to be seen in the rearview mirror now. 75-36, under 5 to play. Boykin gets a piece of it. My goodness, how many times have you heard that? Not only tonight, but all season long. Boykin everywhere defensively. Nothing comes easy when number 2's on the court. Mariana Boykin, sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, spent her high school days at Loch Raven High School. Transferred here to Essex from Goucher as Azarea Whiting gets her third block. Crab cakes and defense. It's what we do here in Baltimore. And my goodness, what a display defensively from Coach DeVoe's squad. Here comes the inbounds play now for the Owls. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Just over 4 minutes left in this game. Knights getting a chance to play in front of the fans here at the Castle one more time this season. And Washington gets the steal. Pass up to Boykin, who dumps it off for Walker. A beautiful display of teamwork. Washington getting the break started. Walker finishing it off. Owls with the rebound. Boykin swipes it away once again. Owls getting another look. Under 4 now to play in the quarter. picked up the dribble, had to pass out, and was it a timeout? Indeed it was, a 30-second timeout on the floor. So we will keep it right here with the two teams. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That is all that's left in this quarterfinal matchup. And excuse me, it's a full timeout, not a 30. He did not have a 30-second timeout, says the referee. I'll run down the numbers once again here for this Knights team. Finished off the regular season with a record of 23-3, but more importantly, 14-0 in conference play. They won their last 2 games to finish off the regular season in style after a tough 93-61 loss on the road at Monroe. The Knights were 10-1 at home this season, 13-2 on the road. And they played with elite pace and really valued volume shooting. They were first in the nation this year in points per game, 93.4. Third in field goals made per game, 34.3. And first in field goal attempts per game, 86.5. And they were top 50 in field goal percentage, 39.6, 40 to be exact. Even though they were a volume offense, they still shot the ball very well overall from the field. Overall, it was a great season in the regular season for Coach DeVoe's squad, but the regular season, that was just setting the table for the real season, the postseason. All of their goals centered around the postseason, and now is their opportunity to make those goals come true. They've been dreams for most of this season. Now they have an opportunity to turn those dreams into reality. First step on their playoff journey, it was taken here today. Wasn't the first step on their basketball journey. That was so many years ago, whether you were shooting baskets on the neighborhood park or shooting baskets in your own driveway, or maybe you were shooting dirty clothes into the hamper. That's where it started, all the way back there, all those years ago. But when you were shooting that ball all those years ago, you were saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the buzzer for the win. You were dreaming about championships, and now is the opportunity for this Knights team to become champions themselves. The opportunity is right in front of them. The brass ring is right in front of them. They've taken their first step in reaching out to grab it here today, as they are going to come away with the victory here in this quarterfinal matchup against the Owls. But will they come away with the victory in their semifinal matchup on Friday, March 6th at Chesapeake? The first step, well, it's that. It's just the first step. It's important. You can't get far without taking that first step. But you got to take another one after this. And the Knights will have a chance to do that on Friday, March 6th. As we see a big group substitution check out of the game. All smiles and a round of applause for that starting 5 that checks out for the final time here at the Castle this season. How much fun has it been to watch those 5 players not only play together all season, but come together as a team. But of course, it's not just them. The bench unit has been so strong all year long for Coach DeVoe's squad, and they are a big reason why this team is the team to beat in this Region 20 tournament, and they may be the team to beat in the NJCAA tournament. Oh, Sally, one more invite to the block party. Refreshments on the bench. Michaela Sally with a huge block. 82-36. Owls with the inbounds play. Open 3. Simpson with the closeout defense. Owls getting another look. Sally with the closeout on the 3 this time. Nelson catches the air ball. 80 seconds left in this game. Ortiz for three. That's good. Oh my, that's gotta feel good. Elisa Ortiz gets a big one. It's been a tough day shooting from downtown for this Knights team. And that comes with a sigh of relief. And who touched it last? PG, says the referee. 61 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and it's going the other way. Knights through 3 quarters of play were shooting 16% from downtown. And that has been a somewhat concerning trend here for this Knights team, as they haven't shot well from downtown over the last 3-4 games. As we see a nice spinneroonie on the other end for the 2 points. Smashing that O button, spinning around the defender and getting 2 points at the cup. Style points counted for anything. The Owls would have got a few on that one. Rodriguez drives baseline, dumps it off to Sally. What a beautiful 2-man game as Rodriguez finds the soft spot in the defense on the drive, and then Sally sends it where it belongs, into the cup for 2. 87-38, and that could be the final score in this one as the shot clock is turned off and the Owls will hold. And the round of applause starts here for this Knights team. 87-38 is the final score in this quarterfinal matchup. They have punched their ticket to the semifinals in this Region 20 Division II tournament, and they may have just indeed punched their ticket to the NJCAA tournament. Once again, the semifinals will be held on March 6th of this Region 20 tournament at Chesapeake. The Knights will look to punch their ticket to the finals, which will be held on March 7th. And then on Monday, March 16th, the NJCAA tournament begins at Hickory, North Carolina. The Knights hoping to be one of the lucky teams that are invited to the tournament this season. If you are interested in finding out how their season goes, visit that CCBC Essex Athletics website and follow this team on their social media. As that's all for us here on the broadcast. For women's basketball, we are moving on to spring sports from here on out. We will be broadcasting some baseball on Tuesday, March 10th, as baseball has a doubleheader against Montgomery. And then lacrosse is back here at the Castle on Sunday, March 22nd at noon against Sussex County. Aaron Thomas for the final time here tonight saying thank you for joining us all season long, and please join the season or join the team as they push on through the playoffs in what should be a tremendous playoff run for Coach DeVoe's squad. One final time saying thank you and good evening and good night.